What's up everybody? I'm in Israel right now, that beautiful beach behind me, and I just got back from Romania. In Romania I had an amazing epiphany and it's changed my life in a very significant and positive way, so I want to share it with you. I know this is like an epidemic of what I'm going to talk about. It's a big problem in society these days, so I hope that what I've learned and how I've implemented some changes that has helped me and enriched my life can also help you as well. I'll tell you how it came about. So when I was in the USA a couple of weeks ago, I had spent 3 weeks with someone. Her name is Kim, and she had followed me, well not followed me, she'd come around with me to all of my speeches, you know, and drove me to each one, and we did the USA tour together. And at the end of the tour, you know, for 3 weeks I didn't do anything for myself. That's common, that's like the last few years really. And at the end, she dragged me out and she said, we're going up a mountain, we're chilling, we're gonna enjoy it, you're coming. And I was like, yeah, sweet. So we get up there and she's like, are you happy? You know, basically she said, are you happy? And I was like, I'm happy enough. And she said, well, you know, I said, I don't really care about my happiness that much. There's things in life that are more important than your own. And that made her unhappy, and she's like, you know, I just really feel like you can have both. You can be effective for the animals and you can be happy. And look, I'm happy to a point, but obviously I sacrifice a lot to be able to spread this message as far as I have. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of things. But anyway, so that happened, and that planted a little seed in my mind that maybe there's room in my life to be more happy. And then I'm in Romania, and because I was at a retreat for 6 days, and I had like 6 days pretty much to chill, which never happens. So in that time I started writing and like journaling, and I'd have a thought and I'd put it on paper, and then I'd expand on that into a paragraph. And one of the things I wrote was that I have spent countless hours in the last few years looking at screens, and it's a problem. I get anxious if I'm not on my phone. If I'm hanging out with people and I'm not on my phone, checking my socials and checking notifications and reading comments and reading messages and looking at emails, I get anxious because there's like a lot happening. And it's not good, right? It's gotten in the way of my relationship with my family, with my friends. It's gotten in the way of my training. It's gotten in the way of me just enjoying life and having a good time. And so I decided, you know, this is true. This has been a big problem in my life, and I've wanted to change it before. I made a video similar, like well over a year ago, addicted to social media or something like that. But I didn't actually change. I knew there was a problem. I didn't know how to change. And I thought if I did change, it might sacrifice what I'm doing, you know? And then it dawns on me that actually the problem is I am truly addicted to my phone. I use it like a drug. I use it when I'm bored. I use it when I'm tired. I use it when I'm sad, when I'm anxious, when I'm trying to distract myself. I use it just like a drug, just like I did with food when I had bulimia. And as soon as I realized that, I was excited because I know how to deal with addiction, man. Like I got a history there, so I know how to deal with that. So as soon as I saw my phone in that way, it was like a drug. And similar to food, you know, drugs are easy to stop because you don't ever have to do drugs. Food is hard because you have to eat. So if you have a food addiction or some sort of emotional eating issue, which is what I had, then it's harder because you do have to eat. But with your phone, it's the same thing. If you know, like you don't have to be on your phone, but you kind of do, and I definitely do for all the work. And so I thought, okay, I need to treat this like an addiction. I'm only going to use my phone when it's necessary. I'm only going to pick it up if I have to, and every time that I go to pick it up, instead of picking it up, I'm going to do something positive. And that's the trick, to replace it with something good, or just to be able to sit with the discomfort of you sitting there wanting to pick up your phone and not. That's an even better thing actually. And it was amazing what I noticed, right? So I had the realization that it's an addiction. I started treating it that way. The amount of times in the next 24 hours that I wanted to reach for my phone was amazing. It really opened my eyes. It actually reminds me of one time I used to bite my nails when I was younger, and then I put on that stop and grow stuff that tastes disgusting, so you bite your nails and like it leaves that horrific taste in your mouth for like hours. And I remember when I did that and I bit my nails, it was so bad I didn't want to put my fingers to my mouth again ever, but I kept doing it all day long and going, oh yeah, nah. and it was just like this habit. So when I got out of the habit of just reaching for my phone, as soon as there's a lull in the life, you know, as soon as nothing's really happening, or something gets a bit boring, or you're chilling in a line somewhere and you might as well, you know, or anything, it happens all the time. I reach for my phone, this app I had said, between 70 and 90, sometimes more times every single day. I grab it and turn it on. 70 or 90 times. It's actually a problem. And so I have this realization and I start being more aware. Awareness is that is the key, man. That is the biggest key. You be aware of your addiction and then you just see how it manifests in your life. So I go to grab it, I'm like, nah, I'm not grabbing it. And I would just chill and I would just sit and I would just look around and enjoy the view, or take a few deep breaths, or whatever. Anything was better than feeding my addiction and going deeper in that hole. And every single time that you don't react in the way that you used to, that is how you start to come out of your addiction. That's how you start to break it. And so then I started going, okay, well, I felt like I'd freed up all this time in my life, which I had because I spent countless hours on my phone every single day. So like, what am I going to do? Started going for more runs, started doing more exercise, started writing more journal stuff, started writing more gratitude stuff, started just chilling with people. And you know what happened? This is probably the coolest thing I've noticed so far, is that instead of being on social media, I became social in real life again. And so this is about 2 weeks ago now. And I didn't want to make a video about it until I had kept at it for a while, because last time I said it, oh, I've got this problem, I'm addicted to social media, and then like a few days later I was back onto it. So I wanted to stick with it for a while to give you a few tools to use. So the main tool, first of all, is to be aware of how much you use your phone and how negative it is. You know, we can have it all, man. We can be happy and be effective and spend, I spend now 2/3 less time on my phone than what I was. 2/3 less. Am I less effective? No. In fact, because I'm happier and doing more interesting things with my life, I'm being more productive rather than just scrolling, looking for stuff like that I don't even know what I'm looking for, man. It's such a waste of time. So, so I've had this massive epiphany and it's helped me a lot and it's freed up some lifetime, man. Social media is an amazing tool, but it can also be a hole that you go down. Do not be addicted to your phone, man. Have no addictions. There are so many more things we can do that are productive than staring at a screen. I stopped smelling the roses. I stopped enjoying life. I stopped taking a look around and appreciating nature. I felt like if I wasn't on my phone doing something, I wasn't helping the animals. No, you can have it both. You can be happy, you can get things done, and you can be productive for whatever cause you're fighting for. So, I don't know, I feel free, man. I feel so much more free than I did. I still spend time on my phone and every now and then I spend more than I'd like, but it's about being aware that there is a problem and then working on how to come out of that. And it can be as simple as changing the habits that you do. Instead of looking at your phone before you go to bed, don't. Or look at it for a minute and then put it down. Instead of looking at it first thing when you wake up, don't. When you go to the gym, like I'd go to the gym and use my phone the whole way through my workout. Now I don't even take it, I leave it at home. All these things help so much. So do whatever you can to do it. Maybe you don't even have a problem as much as me, but when I look around, this is an epidemic, man. Everyone's looking down at their phone, like people, chiropractors and physios and that they're hooking up people for their necks now because they're so used to doing this. I get a sore hand. My hand hurts when I use my phone too much. I got like RSI or something from texting for the last over 10 years. And I don't want to look back on my life and think about all the times I looked at my phone. Nah, man, I travel the world like I don't even appreciate it. I'm going to start appreciating it. I'm going to start appreciating my freedom, and I have more freedom now because I'm no longer addicted to my phone. It's a beautiful thing. I just wanted to share that with you, and man, let me know your experiences. Are you struggling with this as well? Do you know any ways to come out of this? Are you seeing any good YouTube vids or anything like that? It's a serious thing, man. Like people are spending all their time looking at a screen. Life is about so much more than that. Just like life is about so much more than doing drugs, and just like life is about so much more than eating food. All right, that's it. Peace.